Good morning, everyone. It is February 10th on Monday, and honestly, it's been a hell of a week. A little bit of backstory as far as my mental health, because this is Mental Health Monday. Um, my mental health illnesses include schizoaffective disorder, PTSD, psychogenic blackouts, depression, anxiety, and I think that's it. I'm not sure. I think that's it, though. Yes, that's it. It feels like it's a ton, but honestly, it's not. It's just a bunch of pretty much the same symptoms, but intense because you're getting it from different sides. But I just wanted to raise awareness about these different illnesses and what I go through, and then do a little update about last week, and then that'll be what we talk about. So, schizoaffective disorder. The best way I've always described it is it's schizophrenia and bipolar. And then they had a baby. And then that's schizoaffective disorder because you get the mood swings from in the mania or depression from the bipolar, and then that causes hallucinations, which is the schizophrenia part of it. And then so when I'm really manic or really depressed, um, I will have hallucinations or delusions. And then anxiety. Everyone knows what anxiety is. It's that pit in your stomach, that really, really intense feeling in your chest. Not being able to go to the grocery store in my case, unless it's really super early in the morning and nobody else is there, but I still take an anxiety pill just in case. And my anxiety also includes, fuck. My anxiety also includes having, jitters, and I have panic attacks, and so anxiety pills are a wonderful thing from medicine company. And then the PTSD, that has post traumatic stress disorder. If you didn't know what that meant, it's from a traumatic event that happens in your life. I will touch base on that traumatic event in another episode. Maybe next week I'll talk about it more. But my PTSD includes flashbacks and nightmares. And I don't like loud noises, even though that really didn't happen with my trauma. The loud noises kind of trigger me, even though that's not what happened with my trauma. I don't know if that makes sense, but that's me in my case. Everyone's case is different. And then the psychogenic blackouts. The psychogenic blackouts, the best way, it looks like I'm sleeping. I drop down subconsciously most of the time. I wound up on a couch or a chair or my bed or somewhere, but I just drop. And I have fallen down a few times, where I just black out. And it's usually caused from physical or emotional stress. So if I have back problems because I'm overweight, most likely. So if my back is hurting, then usually that's gonna be a trigger for my blackouts. So I know to be more careful and watch where I'm going and make sure to take notes on how I'm feeling. Sorry, I do this ad lib. I don't write anything down. I just go with the flow. So if I say a lot and I pause a lot, I am sorry, but oh well. It makes me more real than just spouting off facts and things. And then the blackout's also like a tone for me to come to. And so a great thing with blackouts, or any kind of anxiety, dissociation states, because I have those, which go kind of in with the PTSD and the schizoaffective disorder, kind of sprinkled in with both of those. Um, is that a frozen orange? It doesn't have to be an orange, but some kind of fruit. Oranges get really hard and really, really, really cold, and they're very textural. So they're a great coping mechanism for that. And so when I black out, my mom or whoever, usually my mom, she goes and she gets a frozen orange out of the freezer and she rubs it on the back of my neck. And that usually helps me come to that jolt of intensity, coldness, will get me out of my blackout. And, they also, if you hold on to one long enough, you'll just coping with it, like feeling all the different goodiness to it, all bumps that it has. Eventually it thaws out and you can squeeze it, and it's almost like a stress ball. And it's an orange, so you can eat it too afterwards, which is something that I like to do because really, really cold oranges are delicious. If you've never had a super cold orange, I definitely recommend it. Okay, so that's out of the way. You guys know the rundown of everything. And now we're going to do a mental health Monday update. Update time is just going to talk about this past week. And this past week has been shit. I have blacked out. I have had PTSD nightmares almost every night, even though I have nightmare medicine. It's just been a hell of a week. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm still tired. I did a 45-minute workout this morning. I'm just, woo. But yeah, this week has been kind of shitty. I've had to call my mom and get her to come home from work 3 times last week, and that she has FMLA leave on me. But that still doesn't help with money and all that kind of stuff. But I know that money doesn't matter, and that she's going to come home if I need her. And that's the thing I love about my mom. However, anyways, so, along with the PTSD, nightmares, extreme anxiety, and, dissociation states, blackouts, and also, delusions. And delusions, the difference between hallucination and delusion, okay? Hallucination over here, is pretty much, I see things that's not there, but most of the time I can tell they're not there. Delusions are false thoughts. So my false thought, delusion, happens to be that I have a baby. And this piece of hair just does not want to stay back there. I have a baby. His name is TJ. He's like 6 months old, I've been told. I don't remember anything about these delusions. When I come to, I just have lost time. Let's take for example, I remember from 12 o'clock to 5 o'clock, but from 5 o'clock to like 8 o'clock is blank. And that's because I was usually in a delusion, a blackout, or a dissociative state. And I have those time gaps a lot. A whole lot. And it's hard to keep up with my day. It truly is. But with these delusions, I was told that I was crying and I couldn't find my baby and he was lost, and it's been a regular thing that's happened. Is that's usually the thing that goes on when I come to these delusions, and I have them, and whew, this is really hard to talk about. Okay. And anyways, so we bought a baby doll. I have not had a delusion since the baby doll, but we're really hoping if I have this delusion that when I go into these delusions, I can hold the baby doll and maybe I'll think that it is my son. And that is just a coping skill. Hopefully that it works. Um, and this is really hard to talk about. And I know there's other people that experience these things like me. And that's why I'm reaching out and hoping that somebody watches this and somebody's like, oh wow, they go through a lot. And so I'm not alone in what I go through. And I'm going to leave links down below for the suicide prevention hotline and other things that I feel like might be helpful. Nami has a lot of resources, and Psychology Today can help you find a psychiatrist and or therapist in your area that also you can filter by your insurance. And so that's really cool. And so, yeah. This has been Mental Health Monday #1. I really hope you enjoyed this. I'm sorry for being so wacky and going from one thing to another and saying a lot. I am working on that, but I ad-lib this and I do it off filter and I just really want it to be as real as possible. So it's kind of like I'm telling you my story through video. It's just me and you, and we're having a conversation, and this is exactly how I would have said it in a personal, real life situation. So, I hope you enjoyed it. That is all for today. So, bye bye, and I will see you Wednesday.